There are few moments in automotive history when time seems to pause when every car enthusiast, no matter their allegiance, looks up and pays attention. 2025 is one of those moments. Ferrari has done it again. The return of the V12 in an era of electrification isn't just a celebration, it's a defiant symphony of pistons, camshafts, and unrelenting passion. This is the Ferrari 12Cilindri, and it isn't just a car, it's a statement. The 12Cilindri arrives as a spiritual successor to the 812 Superfast, but it doesn't merely follow in its footsteps, it carves its own path with a bold, modern identity. Just one look and you're hit with a rush of nostalgia and futuristic ambition colliding in a single machine. The design, dramatic, purposeful, iconic. It pays homage to the golden era of front-engined V12s like the 365 GTB/4 Daytona, but with razor-sharp modernity. No overdone angles, no unnecessary flair. Every line, every panel, sculpted with intent. Under the impossibly long bonnet lies the heart of the beast, to a naturally aspirated 6.5-litre V12, pushing out a staggering 819 horsepower at a spine-tingling 9,250 RPM. Yes, you heard that right. In a time where turbos and batteries dominate the spec sheet, Ferrari delivers a defiant scream with this all-motor masterpiece. No forced induction, no electric crutches, just pure, mechanical poetry. The 12Cilindri doesn't just rev higher, it lives up there. It thrives on that crescendo of sound, delivering power in a linear, rising tide of fury. Peak torque here 678 Nm hits at 7,250 RPM. That's not a flaw, that's a challenge. Ferrari didn't want to make this car easy, they wanted to make it pure. Driving this machine isn't about short shifting to save fuel, it's about holding your nerve as the tachometer needles toward redline, begging you to reach for that last note in the V12 symphony. But Ferrari didn't just build an engine and wrap a car around it. The entire experience is engineered. The weight distribution is near perfect at 48.4% front and 51.6% rear. The 8-speed dual-clutch transmission shifts with the kind of immediacy that blurs the line between man and machine. You think, and the 12Cilindri reacts. And then there's the designer. Let's pause here because this deserves real attention. The front end is dominated by a full-width black graphic element that spans from headlight to headlight, a modern reinterpretation of the Daytona's hidden lights. The headlights themselves are integrated seamlessly, with a futuristic LED signature that feels more spacecraft than supercar. The bonnet is a single sculpted piece, clean and uninterrupted by shuttle lines, giving the front a smooth, continuous flow. Move to the side and the profile is unmistakably Ferrari, long, low, and muscular. But unlike its predecessors, the 12Cilindri doesn't rely on overt aggression. It's elegant. The tension in its lines is subtle, almost like a cat preparing to pounce. And those 21-inch forged wheels, they're not just for show. They contribute to the car's planted stance, hugging the ground with quiet menace. The rear is a masterclass in restraint and balance. A subtle spoiler is integrated into the rear deck, and 4 taillights are circular, classic, a nod to Ferrari tradition while being completely modern in execution. The exhaust, quad pipes, proudly displayed. Because when you make a V12 sound like this, you don't hide it, you celebrate it. Inside, the cockpit is a blend of digital clarity and tactile engagement. Gone are the analog dials, replaced by a 15.6-inch curved digital cluster that adapts depending on the mode. A second 8.8-inch display sits in front of the passenger, letting them feel like part of the action. A central touchscreen manages most of the functions, but Ferrari smartly retains physical controls for key interactions, because when you're pulling 8,500 RPM in third gear, you don't want to be fumbling through menus. Every inch of the cabin feels bespoke. Carbon fiber, Alcantara, and hand-stitched leather surround you, not in excess, but in harmony. This isn't a luxury lounge, it's a performance cockpit with just the right level of opulence. And yet, it's surprisingly usable. The car offers a more comfortable ride than you'd expect, thanks to Ferrari's brilliant magneto-rheological suspension, which constantly adapts to the road in milliseconds. Technology doesn't just support comfort, it enhances control. The Ferrari 12Cilindri features the latest version of the side-slip control system, giving the driver more confidence at the limit. Active aerodynamics subtly adjust downforce depending on speed and cornering load, while the vehicle dynamics computer version 8.0 now integrates steering, suspension, traction, and torque delivery with eerie precision. It's like having a driving coach, race engineer, and guardian angel all working invisibly in the background. And if you're wondering how quick it is, a Ferrari claims 0 to 100 km per hour in 2.9 seconds. 0 to 200 in 7.9 seconds. Top speed, over 340 km per hour. This is not just fast. This is supercar royalty operating in its full glory. But numbers alone don't tell the story, because the 12-Cilindri isn't just about speed. It's about the way it delivers that speed. The crescendo of that V12, the way the rear wheel steering tightens your line mid-corner, the feel of the brake pedal modulating carbon ceramic discs with millimeter precision. It's theater. Mechanical, emotional theater. There's also a Spider variant, for those who want their V12 symphonies unfiltered by a roof. The Spider comes with a retractable hardtop that opens in just 14 seconds, even at speeds up to 45 km per hour. Ferrari's engineers ensured that removing the roof didn't compromise torsional rigidity or aerodynamic balance. In fact, the Spider version adds an even more visceral element to the experience. Wind in your hair, engine behind the firewall, sky above you. It's intoxicating. What Ferrari has done with the 12-Cilindri is bold. They didn't just make a V12 car, they made a case for why V12s still matter. This car is a rejection of conformity. It's a love letter to those who remember the first time they heard a Ferrari scream past on an empty road. It's for the purists, the dreamers, the drivers. Yet, this isn't nostalgia for nostalgia's sake. The 12-Cilindri is forward-looking. Its digital interfaces, its aerodynamic sophistication, its intelligent chassis systems, they all show a brand that's embracing the future while fiercely defending its past. Of course, it won't be for everyone. Some will argue it should be hybridized. Others will say it's irresponsible in a world trying to curb emissions. But Ferrari isn't apologizing. They're saying this might be the last of its kind. So let's make it the best of its kind. And it is. This car exists because of passion. Because a group of engineers and designers in Maranello still believe that emotion should drive engineering. And that belief, that commitment to drama and purity, is what separates Ferrari from everyone else. The 2025 Ferrari 12-Cilindri doesn't whisper its intentions, it roars them. It's the last dance of the naturally aspirated V12. It's a machine built not for numbers on paper, but for memories on the road. The type of car that doesn't just accelerate your pulse, it etches itself into your soul. So yes, maybe the world is going electric. Maybe the V12 will fade into history. But Ferrari has given us one last song, one last opera, one last moment to put both hands on the wheel, stare down a ribbon of tarmac, and remember why we fell in love with cars in the first place. Because this isn't just the Ferrari 12-Cilindri. It's everything we've ever dreamed a Ferrari could be. And that, right there, is what makes it immortal.